Hiya folks, Sandro here with more cartoon news and shenanigans. And if you'd like more cartoon news and shenanigans, I'd ask you to please subscribe to my channel. In fact, do it right now so you don't forget about it later. And I thank you very much for that. So today, we have an interesting cartoon news article here on cartoonbrew.com. We got a nice article by Alex Dudok DeWitt. Report. Netflix lost 31, that's huge, 31% of U.S. market share in the past year. And this is while everybody's been at home, right? I can't say everybody. Some people have gone back to work, etc., but a lot of people are still at home, they're jobless, etc. They have all the time in the world to be watching Netflix, and they're moving on to other streaming services. A lot of people are just going to video games, right? Because, video games, you got the multiplayer, you got that human interaction. When you're watching a show, I mean, you got your family with you, but when you're playing like Fortnite or, any Call of Duty, I don't know, my brother always loves Call of Duty. He's on the headset, he's talking to people, he's getting that sort of, that human interaction that you can't really get from like a Netflix subscription. So let's read a little here. This is very, very interesting stuff. As you guys know, I've covered Netflix like 20 times on my channel. I talk about, all kinds of things that have gone wrong with them. I don't think I ever talked about that Cuties movie. Or no, I did talk about Cuties actually. I talked about like some of the competitors. I actually just did a video on Paramount Plus. I did all kinds of videos. If you guys want to see some of my back catalog, just type in the word Netflix and my name, the name of my channel, Sandro, and you'll probably, actually, let me just double check here. Let's see. Netflix. I think I've done a whole bunch of them. Yeah, there you go. I've done like a whole bunch of these, and every time I talk about any streaming service, I always talk about Netflix, so I've done a whole bunch of videos. Netflix stocks take the plunge. That was when Cuties came out, I think. Netflix subscriber growth slows, and that's, you could see that. That was in October 26th. I made that video of 2020. And now here we are. What day did this article come out? April 13th. You can see there, we're on April 13th, 2021. And now the chickens have come to roost. Netflix losing that share. So let's read. Netflix still leads the streaming market in the US by some way, but its market share has decreased sharply in the pandemic, according to new data shared by Ampere Analysis with The Wrap. Okay, that's a bit of a... I kind of want to click that. Where does that lead? Where's that? The Wrap. Okay, thewrap.com. Let's actually read the source art. Should I read this? No. Let's read the source article. This is where Cartoon Brew kind of like took the article from. Let's read here. So here we go. We're on the wrap.com. Who's this article by? Sean Birch, I think. Okay, so here we go. Streaming rivals gained ground. Yeah. So here we go. New competitors like HBO Max and NBCU's Peacock are already eating into Netflix's lead in the streaming wars. And I've said this from the very beginning. HBO Max has the potential. I am on team. If you go and watch some of my old Netflix videos that I just showed you, I have always been on team HBO Max, okay? I'm telling you guys, there's something about HBO Max. It's like you got the Looney Tunes, you got like Teen Titans, you got the whole DC universe, you have all these old school cartoons, Hanna-Barbera, everything, right? So I'm like, no. Team HBO Max, long term. HBO Max is gonna just like burst through the seams. And I think they are gonna overtake Netflix at some point. That's my prediction. You might call me crazy. You might say, Sandro, there's no way HBO Max ends up losing to, you might say, Sandro, there's no way Netflix ends up losing all that market share to HBO Max. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I think HBO Max is the underdog, and slowly it's gonna just beat out the competition and get to that number one spot. Even though Netflix has been there longer than anyone else, I feel it. I feel it's going to happen. So after a year in which streaming became even more important to millions of Americans thanks to the coronavirus pandemic, Netflix still dominates the streaming universe in the US. But new data shared by Ampere analysts with the Wrap shows that while Netflix holds 20% of the US streaming market, its dominance over the rest of the streaming landscape has shrunk from 29%, a drop of nearly 1/3 as more services entered the market. So that's huge. The article, it ends there? Okay, let's keep reading here then. They give us I guess they subscribed or whatever and gave us the rundown. Okay, here we go. The streaming giant's share has fallen from 29% this time last year, which is what we just read, to 20% now. So that's a lot. That represents a decrease of 31%. Netflix added 36.58 million subscribers in 2020, a company record, but the pie has grown faster than its slice due to the entry of new platforms and rapid overall rise in streaming subscriptions in the country. And guys, don't forget, Microsoft, you have all these companies that are making gaming. Microsoft has that, what's the streaming service? They have like a service where you can get all the games. Game Pass? Is that what? Yeah, Game Pass. So Microsoft has Game Pass. You're going to see other companies start trying to make like their own Game Passes where you could just get all of the video games for like a couple of bucks, And that's going to also take away from the shares. You're going to see people are going to say, do I want a subscription to Netflix or do I want all this library of video games, right? So you're going to see that happen too as time goes on. The other big players that were established before 2020 have also seen their share decrease in the same period. Amazon dropped from 21% to 16%, Hulu from 16% to 13%. So everybody's down. Disney is the only one that kind of got spared, I guess. So yeah, Disney's down a bit too. And so where's HBO? HBO Max launched. Didn't HBO Max launch? Oh, before 2020. Yeah, HBO Max launched in 2020, I think. So meanwhile, a growing portion of the market is accounted for by new entrants. The biggest growth came at Warner Media's HBO streamers, including HBO Max, which launched in May. Hey, that was that's right. It launched near my birthday, yeah. HBO's total share leaped from 3% to 12%. So there you go. There's where the market share went, right? Look, 3 to 12. Meanwhile, what's actually hilarious is it's like they went from 3 to 12 while Amazon and Hulu dropped like way more than 3%. So like HBO Max came in and was like, "Hey guys, let's even the playing field here." So I'm actually just shocked that Amazon actually had, right now. So they dropped from 21%. So they have 16% of that share. Amazon Prime Video. Do you guys have that? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you have Amazon Prime Video? I'm not too familiar. I think my brother had it for a little bit and then he just canceled it because I think it comes with Prime, right? When you get Amazon Prime, and then he just canceled that and then that was that. But I don't know too many people that actually have Amazon Prime Video. Let me know your thoughts if you guys have that. And Hulu also dropped a little bit. So HBO Max is the key factor that's been taking up all of their shares. That's where all the shares have been going. Meanwhile, a growing portion of the market is accounted for by new entrants. Sorry, I just read this. So it went from 3 to 12 and is now ahead of Disney. Oh, it is ahead of Disney Plus. Oh, shit. I should have just read that sentence before I commented. Yeah, wow, they're ahead of Disney Plus. That has to be the title of this video. HBO Max surpasses Disney. That that makes for a good headline. I think I'm gonna go with that headline for this video. Anyways, let's see here. NBC Universal's Peacock, which has free ad-supported tier, launched in July 2020 and thus stood at 0%. So I guess it didn't have a big start, but then they managed to squeeze that orange. They managed to get some orange juice out of that shit, and they got 5%. So they got 5%, and then Paramount Plus, which just came out recently, I did a video on that. I talked about it. So I'm curious here. A rebrand of Viacom CBS's All Access. Yeah, CBS All Access. I talked about that back when you guys might remember my video on Star Trek Lower Decks, right? That was a very terrible show. Is it even still running? I don't even know. But new, so it rebranded under Paramount Plus, and since they did that, since they rebranded, they have gone up from 2 to 3%. So this is so crazy. So Warner, so they actually beat Disney Plus, guys. HBO Max slaughters Disney Plus. Crazy stuff. Apple TV Plus, which like Disney Plus, debuted in November 2019 and has increased its share from 4 to 5%. So that's interesting also. So Apple TV actually had a very small start, but actually just barely seems to have increased it. Meanwhile, HBO Max came out of the gate. I remember when HBO Max came out, I did a video on it, and all the analysts were saying like HBO Max, the shares were down. People thought HBO Max was going to be this huge thing, and then it wasn't at first, and then it seems to have blossomed into a tree, and now it's just going. So this is making me happy because I love DC Comics. As you guys know, I've done a whole bunch of videos. I actually, usually I only cover 2D animation, but every now and again, I'll cover a comic book. Like, you guys can go through my catalog. I have definitely covered some comic books here and there. Actually, I did a comic book. I talked about how, what was it? They had a new hero that was literally just an activist. They weren't even like a real superhero. What was that one? They fight with like a dog or something, like a talking dog, or that they have the powers to like hear animals talk or something. I can't remember what the hell the name of the comic was, but yeah, she was basically just an activist. Also, don't forget Black Lightning, or sorry, Static Static, right? The show, the character used to be called Static, but I think in recent times they like try to change it to like Static Shock, like the old cartoon show, which was a good cartoon show. I used to watch that as a kid on WB, of course. So Static Shock, they actually changed his origin story where he actually got his powers at like a BLM protest. Like, what the hell? So a lot of crazy stuff going on in the comic book industry. And yeah, so here we go. Look at this. They give us the rundown. Damn, man. Cartoon. Who wrote this article? Alex D. We've okay. We established that. Yeah. So wow, this dude did some journalism out here. Nice stuff. To summarize, the top 5 streaming services in the US by market share, according to the data, are currently as follows. So Netflix at 20%. So Amazon Prime Video at 16%. So that shocks me. I never hear people talk about this one, right? Like, do you guys hear? You got to tell me. I mentioned earlier, tell me in the comments, discuss with me what the hell's going on with Amazon Prime Video. Is it just that people are subscribed to Amazon Plus or Amazon Prime? They're just subscribed to Amazon Prime. They just want their packages, and then they're like, hey, I have some shit to watch. Might as well, right? Like, is that what's going on here? And then Hulu at 13%. I think next year, HBO Max overtakes Hulu. And then I think it's going to be vying for that second spot with, it might be like 16% for Amazon Prime and then 15% for HBO Max. That's what I think. And Disney Plus also, that it's interesting. So Disney seems to have been a bigger player, and they're actually like at the bottom of the rung here. Peacock, this list didn't include Peacock and Paramount Plus because it mentioned they were at like 5% and stuff. So Disney's not necessarily at the bottom, but like, Netflix pulling in double what they're pulling in. So that's pretty interesting there. And of course my mouse dies on me. Okay, let's see here. And yeah, guys. So that's going to be it. I think, should I keep going here? Let me see here. Let me see. Should I just, yeah, let's finish up here. Let's finish up. Damn it, my mouse died, so I'm using the little the keypad on my laptop. Okay, a few notes. Amazon Prime Video comes... Okay, here we go. See, I should have read this. I should have read another sentence. It always happens. I always discuss things, and then like I should have just read a sentence ahead. A few notes. Amazon Prime Video comes as part of the broader Amazon Prime membership package, and is difficult for analysts to gauge how many members of the video service. Yeah. So that's why that's kind of cheesy. They're kind of like cheesing those numbers. They're juicing. They're juicing the numbers. So HBO Max has over 41 million subscribers, but that includes those who can access the service through a promotion or HBO cable subscription. The number of activated subscriptions was only around 17.2 million as of January. So that's interesting. So there could be 41 million people are subscribed, but only 17.2 are actually in, whereas a bunch of them could be on promotions. So that's very interesting. But that's how you get people in, right? You give them a taste of that free lollipop, and then they get all the suckers. Like RuneScape. You play the free member. This is what I did as a kid. They lured me in. All my friends were playing RuneScape. All of my friends became members. I played the free version. I'm like, hey, I love this game so much. I'm going to get the full version of RuneScape and get the RuneScape membership, right? So yeah, that's what's going on here. I'm thinking a lot of these people are going to get converted into fully fleshed out members, and we're going to see about that. But let's keep going here. Disney has announced that Disney Plus has crossed 100 million subscribers, but many are abroad. Okay. Roughly what? Oh, right. This article was only about America. That's right. So yeah, this is in America. Oh, right. Okay, I thought this was the whole shebang. No. This is only in America. Okay. So Disney Disney has twice as many subscribers as HBO Max. That's what yeah. So HBO Max only had about 41. Disney has over 100 million, but most of those are overseas. So they're not getting the audience here. They're not getting the audience here in America. I'm in Canada. They're I guess they're getting the audience here too, but like they're not getting as much of an audience as HBO Max. That's so shocking in America. You would think that America would be more supportive of Disney, but then again, Disney has been censoring everything, so that they get what they deserve here. On the other hand, hold on here. Roughly 1/3 of those are Disney Plus Hotstar customers in India. Really? So 30 million of Disney subscribers are just from India. Is that right? What is a Hotstar customers? And this helps explain its relatively small market share in the US. On the other hand, Hulu and ESPN Plus, which is at 4%, are majority owned by Disney, so the company's total market share is higher than Netflix. Okay, yeah, but not really though, because I don't know. They don't fully own Hulu. They do own ESPN, so I guess you could say when you add all those together. No, that doesn't count. Come on, get out of here. Disney Plus. No, Netflix is still winning, but like, how much longer can Netflix go? Because, we know Netflix has reached their peak. They're churning numbers at this point. Netflix is just churning. So, how much longer can they keep the ruse going for? I don't know, but how many, there's only so many subscribers in the world that will, before you start saying, people just say, no, I'm good, I don't want it. But yeah, so Disney, it's very shocking to hear that most of their customers are actually from India. That's interesting, but I wonder if they're getting like full subscription price, because I know I've seen videos online where like Domino's will charge like $1 for like like they'll have like dollar menus in India, because like people in India aren't buying like full pizzas a lot of time and stuff. So they eat much healthier in India too, from what I understand. So there's stuff like that. So, they might, in India, they only might be charging like $1 for Disney Plus, whereas here they're charging like, $10+, right? So just because you have 100 million subscriptions doesn't mean you're making more than HBO Max, right? Which I think they probably are making more than HBO Max, because it said that HBO Max only has about 17 million that are actually confirmed, whereas the other like couple million could just be like, promotions and things. But yeah, this is interesting stuff. In January, Doylette Doolittle, I don't know how to pronounce, published a report on the U.S. streaming market in which it argued that the era of parallel growth for services may be ending. Yeah, so I was just saying that Netflix can only get so many people before you start getting that churn. People start turning out. People start tuning out, and that's that. To be replaced by increasing competition and subscriber churn. There it is. The churn I was talking about. The report also noted the growing popularity of free ad-supported services. Yeah, which is what I believe Paramount Plus or was it Peacock? I think Paramount Plus and Peacock have free versions, but you have to watch commercials, which completely defeats the purpose of the goddamn streaming. So we didn't want to watch TV commercials. And everybody was like, come watch Netflix. There's no commercials. And now they're going back to commercials. It's frustrating. It's so frustrating. Oh, and it's like now you have to pay higher rates. It's like they have different rates. It's like, here's the free version. Here's one that costs twice as much, but there's no ads. It's disgusting. It's just disgusting. I'm not a fan of how they're doing it. I'd rather they just keep it ad free. Just keep it so ad free. I'm not a fan of the free ad supported thing. I think when it comes to these services, you should just charge and keep the prices low so people can afford them. And that's where you should be heading. That's where you should be heading. Don't do any of this. You have to watch a bajillion commercials like on YouTube, and it's like, here's an ad at the beginning of the video, here's an ad at the end of the video, and there's no ad blocker, so you're gonna have to be forced to watch those ads on like Peacock and stuff. So good luck with that, right? But yeah, I'm gonna end the video. I'm not surprised that Netflix is losing market share. I am a little surprised by how much Amazon Prime, like they said, it could just be that like people, you get Amazon Prime for free. So people who are getting packages a lot are just like, yeah, I have it. Let's turn it on. So they could be like jacking their numbers up just for the hell of it. I do think that HBO Max will surpass Netflix one day. That's my opinion. I still believe that. I don't know. I've been saying that since day one. Maybe it'll come true someday. Maybe I'll just be a fool. Maybe I'll be a fool. Maybe HBO Max never passes Netflix. Who knows? But that's my thoughts on this. Anything else? Yeah, let me know again about Amazon Prime. Do you guys know anyone who watches that stuff on there? Amazon Prime Video. Do you guys have any friends or family who watch it? Or do you just have it and you never even use it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And yeah, that's the end of the video. Peace out. Give me a like, give me a thumbs up there, and subscribe to the channel. Let's do it. Let's get to 1,000. And all our dreams will come true. The end. Bye-bye. See you guys later. Have a great day. The end. Bye-bye.